Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we're gonna talk about the major creaks. I'm gonna show you with this simple tool what you can do and how you can get away from your creaks. And all the bikes over there make some creaks and noises. The question remains, you gotta come down and isolate them. And I'm gonna start from the very first step, and the one that's most important one will be your headset. You're gonna just come like this, and if you hear the clunk over here, chances are you gotta come down and you gotta loosen these two bolts over here and then adjust your headset. This is the most important part of your bike because it will compromise your steering, and at the same time you want to make sure that you want to get all those noises by loosening up this over here, these two bolts, the one that's over here, and then the one on top over here. You want to tighten this one and then tighten these two over here. So that will be the first step over there that you want to look after over there. And then once you have everything tight, it shouldn't make any noise like in here. Everything should be nice and tight. That's pretty much that. Let's get to number two. Number two over here will be your cables over here. You see your cables? Usually they would make the creaks as you are turning with your bike like this. You see what I'm talking about? The best way to tackle this problem would be to look over here and trim with the cutters, trim your cable. If you look over here, you shouldn't have any rubbing over here on this side. So just like on the other side, this is what you should have. So you should have enough cables to do a 90 degrees turn, but at the same time you shouldn't have too much slack, which will give you that vibration there, and it will cause the creaks, and it will also cause all kind of weird noises. So again, step number two, get your cables adjusted as best as you could. And that's the tip for number two. Let's get to the tip number three, and that's usually this guy over here. Now I'm going to loosen it a bit, and look what happens now when I loosen the valve on your tire. I'm going to just move it over here, and let's see what happens. I'm not sure if the camera is catching that noise, but it's this thing over here. What's gonna happen when you ride this valve washer? There's a washer right there. Will be making the noises all the time. That will annoy you. So before I even go out for a ride, when I pump my tires, what I always like to do, I just like to come over here when I pump my tires, and I like to tighten the cap. Here's the cap, and then this thing here. And now the fulcrum wheel set has some nice coating here, so I just go over here and I tighten it, and let's see what happens. Beautiful. See? Amazing. You don't have any rattles there, and that's really something that will get rid of all the rattles in your wheel. Now step number four is this guy over here. You see what I'm talking about? Hello. You're gonna take this thing, put it on the floor, and guess what? You have two bolts right here. Let me just show you over here what I'm talking about. So there's one here, and there's one right here beside him. What you will do, you will just come here, and you're gonna just give it a tighten. There you go, see? Now, let me just bring one important factor. Since this is a carbon frame, I would advise you that you use the torque meter. Now this thing, what I'm doing with this thing over here with the park tool, I'm just checking if I have any play here. So look what I have here. See, this one was already loose. See, I'm gonna try to get on camera, but this one was definitely loose. See, it's this thing over here. You see, I can see it opening already. I'm gonna just tighten it a bit, but like I said again, you wanna use the torque meter for all your frames that you work on your carbon bike, and that will help you damaging the frame and whatnot. Now this one over here, this should be step number 5. This thing over here used to rattle a lot on my Pinarello. When I got this bike, whoever put this thing together didn't lube up my seat post over here. Actually, lubing up is not the right approach. There's that airplane kind of special grease that they use for the carbon parts of the airplane, and this thing was over here pretty dry. So what has happened, I got the bike shop to put some grease here, sorry, not the grease, the airplane lubrication kind of grease special for the aircraft, which in fact got rid of the creaking noise that my seat post used to make. And I'm pretty happy once they got my saddle here adjusted and the seat post. Keep in mind, I couldn't do adjustment with the with this thing, so I got him to do with the torque converter. I got him to come here and then adjust this thing because I didn't want to compromise my frame over here. And then one of the last one would be, let's come back over here and show you what I'm talking about. The gearing. You're gonna come back here and look what's gonna happen. You should just hear a click, 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 click over here on my reel cassette. So what that means, your derailleur cages should be set perfectly so that the bike doesn't make any noises and doesn't cause all that noises when you're shifting. At the same time you're pedaling, it would rub against your cages over here. So there's a cage at the front, cage at the back, and those two would usually make the noises that you don't want to hear. Now the last one that I could think about here, and that's also the obvious, and you also want to have a look, is this guy. Now I'm gonna just be quiet for a second, let you hear my pedals. So again, I only have 1,000 kilometers on my Kia Look, so you want to make sure that the bearings are always buttery smooth, so that you don't have any kind of play here or whatnot. And as a domino effect, as a result, look, you don't have any noises there. And that's pretty much everything. I do lots of videos on the bicycles, so make sure to subscribe right here. And over here to the right, I do the videos on the bicycles where I have the playlist. And that will be pretty much for today. Hope you find it useful. Like, subscribe, and take care. Bye-bye.